My life was hell, so my family could look perfect. The door slammed shut. From the hallway, I heard my mother scream, but I stayed in my room, trying to hold back the tears. It wasn't the first time I'd been asked to stay silent, so everything could look perfect. This time, my father had hit her again, and I knew there would be no excuses. The sound of furniture crashing echoed through the house, and my mother sobbed, though I couldn't tell if it was from the pain or the humiliation. I had learned to hide in silence, because if I didn't, the consequences for all of us would be worse. My tears fell unseen. I had to be strong. The next day, everything was back to normal. The house in order, the air tense but clean. My mother served breakfast with a smile that wasn't hers, and my sister played quietly in her corner. My father, with his cold stare, read the newspaper as if nothing had happened. Everything returned to the way it always was, a false normal that only existed behind closed doors. A couple of months later, my mother told me we were moving. "We need to get away, daughter," she said, with a look that left no doubt. The final blow had come. My father left the house, but my mother refused to see the truth. What she wanted was a perfect family, even if it meant sacrifices from all of us, including me. The years passed, and her promises of a better future faded. My mother kept her permanent smile, but I could see everything crumbling behind it. She asked me to take care of my sister, to never speak of what had happened. Every time I asked about my father, she gave the same reply: "Don't look for him, he's no longer part of our lives." But he lingered in every corner of the house. In every word my mother couldn't stop herself from saying. I realized that my life, in some way, was the price my mother paid to keep the facade of a perfect family. I had to be the daughter who kept quiet, the one who endured the scars without questioning. My mother wanted it that way. Everything had to be peaceful, as if suffering didn't exist. Her perfection demanded my sacrifice. One day, at a family gathering, my mother asked me not to mention anything about the past. "What matters is what you see now, what you have in front of you," she said as she fixed my sister's bow. Everything was fine, according to her. The rest, the truth simply did not exist. I was the quiet daughter, the one who had no right to be imperfect, no right to disrupt the perfect family my mother had built out of my suffering. When I questioned her, when I dared to say I didn't care about being part of that lie, she looked at me with a mix of surprise and rejection. "You don't understand, daughter. This is what's best for you. What we want is for you to live without problems, without the darkness of what happened." And at that moment, I understood that her perfection, the one she longed for so much, was only a mask hiding us all. Years went by, and I remained the daughter who stayed silent, the daughter who accepted the sacrifices, the lies, and the false sense of normal. My life was the price my family paid to look perfect, and though I never told my mother, I felt my soul slowly wearing down while she built her vision of perfection at the cost of my pain. One day, as my mother smiled at the family photographs, she looked at me, as always, as if everything were fine. But I could no longer maintain the facade. I didn't know whether to keep hiding my truth or finally scream it out loud, but I knew one thing: my life had never been mine. It had been the burden I carried so she could have the life she always wanted, the perfect family.